Thanks everyone for tuning in. I'm joined by 2021 Oregon Ducks commit, center Jackson, or offensive lineman, center probably Jackson Light. How's it going, Jackson?
Going great. Just got done taking an AP test.
Okay, AP classes, right on. What classes were we looking at today?
Oh, I just took the AP US history. That's really the only AP class I take, but yeah.
Right on. I took that class myself in my junior year, and it was pretty tough. So props to you for taking that. So want to get into, kind of the Ducks and what your recruitment's been like and kind of just catch up with you. Life's kind of changed a lot for us recently. So what have you been up to these days in quarantine?
Um, Different things, just kind of working out, trying to stay in shape, lifting, running. I've also learning how to cook with my mom. Let's see, watching movies, doing that kind of stuff, just talking with family and just trying to do the next right thing.
Right on, right on. Any of your favorite dishes coming up recently? Or like is there a new dish that you've liked the most?
Oh, I did. So my friend and had a date and they got in a little bit of a car crash. So what happened is they both just kind of they're good now, but
Okay.
they just kind of they wanted to have a dinner. So I learned how to cook tri-tip and mashed potatoes and asparagus. So I made that for them. That was pretty good. And then I don't know, pancakes, always pancakes. So
Okay, nice. Well, I'm sorry to hear about that accident. I'm glad they're doing well.
yeah,
Very kind of you to do that for them. That's cool. Yeah, you can't go wrong with pancakes.
no,
That,
never,
that
never.
that's
So good,
awesome.
so good.
Um, Very cool. So shifting things to football a little bit now. What's your current height and weight looking like these days, if you know?
I'm right now about 6'3", and then I'm a little bit on the heavier side right now. I'm like 295 right
Okay.
now, and then yeah, so pretty much that.
Okay, cool. Got an update on the measurements, and then let's talk about the Ducks. So, what was it like getting recruited to play for Mario Cristobal and the Ducks football team?
Oh, it was crazy because going into my sophomore year, I got my first offer in like I think February, Utah State. It kind of was just going, and I was kind of just waiting on those kind of smaller schools first because I was just kind of getting started in my recruiting process. And kind of just out of nowhere, like out of left field, Oregon offered, and that was just insane. That was insane. It was a cool experience. Called my dad up, and he was super pumped. Called my mom, she started bawling, and then so er, everything on then was awesome. I kind of lost contact with him after that, just because it was before that contact period, September 1st, I believe. So I really didn't get to contact them until I got invited to go to Saturday Night Live. So when I'm there the first time, it was surreal, just to say it the least. Like, um, it was crazy because we've never really like seen Oregon. Like we've been kind of Utah fans growing up. Like me just being growing up, so Utah fans just kind of saying like kind of local teams here. Never really thought about Oregon, but we got up to Oregon and just pulling into the garage, like it was insane. And just being greeted by all the coaches and meeting everybody there, it was a great experience. And SNL was fun too, and just getting to meet Coach Chris Ball and seeing Coach Mariball was awesome as well. And I almost committed on after that day. I was so close to committing, just like that. My parents like, let's just wait. Like we're still kind of we're young in our recruiting kind of thing. Let's just wait. But like
Mhm.
after that, I just knew that I was gonna be a Duck.
Very cool, very cool. So that you talked about, wanting to commit on the spot, but your parents wanted you to kind of feel it out,
Yeah.
probably, look at all your choices. What were some of the other schools that you were looking at the time? And like, was there like a number two that, Oregon and this team it came down to?
So I kind of had a little bit of a top three. I was looking at Oregon, University of Missouri, and then Utah. So I was looking at them a little bit. But after that visit, I went to Missouri because it was kind of like I went to SNL. Well, no, wait, that was SNL was before, and then so I went to SNL, and then I kind of had just like my season,
Mhm.
and then I went to Oregon again for a game, and then the Cal game, which was kind of like a normal game, but it just shows you how Autzen comes to play every time. Then went to Missouri, but yeah, just Oregon, Missouri, and Utah. That was about it.
Okay, right on. Yeah, you talked about how a lot of people want to um, stay in Utah, especially with, I mean, Kyle Whittingham. I feel like maybe they're not as winning as some other programs, but like they're always developing talent. So I could totally see how they're a player. Obviously, you decided to end up going with the Ducks. Why did you ultimately decide to, commit to them? I know you kind of fell in love with them from the jump.
Um, After that Cal game and just experiencing that whole I don't even know what to call it. That just experience in general. I just knew and I knew and like I was starting to get contacted a lot more schools started to talk to me and I had to just kind of deal with the season in school. It was just kind of piling up and I just knew ultimately that I was going to commit to the Ducks. Like I just knew it. So, and I was comfortable and like I just came home after practice. I had a bad practice. I just had to talk with my dad. I'm like, I know where I want to go. I don't want to lead anybody on. I kind of want to just be done and just really focus on the season, really focus on school. So then that's when I pulled the trigger then. So,
Very cool. Very cool. That's cool how had that feeling like I just want to be done with it. But at the same time, it's like I feel like this is the place for me because
mhm.
some people like to drag it out. But being that you are committed, and you said schools were blowing up your phone in the past. Are schools still coming after you, or are they reaching out to you? What's that like? What do you tell them? How's that going?
Oh, it's kind of funny. So if you look at my Twitter at all, it's mostly green and yellow all the time. So a little bit. So after I committed, I had schools come talk to me, and I'm a very committed person. Like if I'm committed, I'm done. Like I'm only taking one official visit. I'm with the Ducks, and I'm going to be prideful and do everything I can for them as well. But when schools come talk to me, they'd be like, "Are you committed?" And I'm like, "Yeah." I kind of turn them down a little bit, but still be respectful because you never know where that coach is going to be at some point. So, yeah, I would just kind of turn them down, and then that's pretty much about it. But no one really talks to me anymore, just because my social media presence on Twitter and on Instagram and all that. I'm always Ducks. I talk to different recruits about Ducks, and I think just everyone's kind of like, okay, he's going to Oregon. So yeah.
Very cool. Yeah, that's got to be such a crazy experience just with all those people, coming at you. But that's definitely respectable that you're, you know, strong on your word, and you're going to be. Obviously, I'm sure Ducks fans are happy that you're going to be sticking to them. It looks like. One of my next questions kind of has to do with what you were talking about. Um, it's kind of two-part. What do you think about the 2021 class so far? We're seeing them gain some steam. And are there any other recruits that you're trying to get with you to Eugene?
So to answer the first question, I think this 21 class is going to be one of the best in Oregon history, in my opinion. I think we have great foundation that we've laid, and I think we're going to just keep on going because um, normally what it kind of in the once you get throughout, like you got a lot more kind of at the end because people are starting to make their decision then. But now because it's Corona, people have to make the decision because there's not going to be those 5 visits and all that kind of stuff because of the Corona. So I think I think it's going to be a great class in my opinion. I'm so excited to play with my the different teammates with like Keith, Seven, Ty, like all of them, like Bram, another offensive lineman coming to. I think it's going to be a great class, and I think this class is not only going to just be the best, but elevate that bar of Oregon play. So, and then the second question with different recruits, I'm talking to a lot of people right now, just in general, just kind of just checking in because I get like I am so sorry for all those recruits right now because the NCAA is like, hey, unlimited calls. And
Yeah.
I cannot imagine not being committed right now. Like that must, because I talk to different people and I go, hey, like, dude, how are you? He's like, I I have a friend who had to get a different phone number so he
Oh
can have
my gosh.
a personal, and then recruiting. It's kind of, and I get where coaches are coming from because you have no practice. You probably have some Zoom meetings with coaches and players, and then you got family time, which is also rare. But you can guide almost everything to recruiting now because you have that time. So um, I'm talking to different people right now. I'm just more just checking in, trying to be more of a friend than kind of a recruiter in a sense, just because they're going through a ton right now. Like Bram Walden, who committed last week, I believe, he had a ton of people just on him all the time, and it just I thought that would suck. So I'm just more like just saying text like, hey man, how we doing? Like, how's everything going? You need anything? I'm here. I can talk to you with that kind of stuff. But I'm really with recruits I want, like Jonah Miller. I love him. He's an awesome dude. I'd love to play with him. Maliki, who just put out his commitment date, I believe.
Yeah, I saw that. That's awesome.
Love to play with him also. He got some great hair. He's a good dude. Great dude. Saw him at junior day this year. I'm really just kind of focused on the offensive line a little bit and some of the tight end type stuff. He is more on the defense, but I'm really just focused on the offensive line. So Diego Pounds and the Mountain, Bryce Foster.
Oh yeah.
Love to play with him too. He's a great guy. And it's kind of cool because you get to talk to these other people and these other dudes, even though they might be your teammate, they might not be your teammate, but like they're just great dudes, and it kind of shows how Oregon's really recruiting just like not only just like ballers on the field, but just great people.
Very cool. Very cool. Yeah, I know that's one of the things that people kind of tend to hang their hat on when it comes to the Oregon program, and with Cristobal and his staff, like he's looking for quality guys. So.
Mm-hmm.
That's super cool to hear. And then I know that you were one of the first people to commit to Oregon, get this 2021 class going. What does that mean to you that you were kind of, one of the first people to, say, hey, I think I'm going to put my faith in these guys and I'd like to see others follow suit?
I think it's great. I think someone's the first one to commit, and
mm-hmm.
that just he committed early too, and it kind of showed me a little bit because I kind of looked at it as well. He committed early, and committing that early, you don't see that often. He's still committed too. Like it just shows you how great Oregon's program, not just recruiting, but everything in general is just awesome. I think it means a lot to me that others have committed and others have talked to me before they committed. Like it's awesome because it's not just their recruit. They're going to be my teammates. Those are the dudes where we're down by 6 against Washington, where we're going to have to band together and go win,
Mm-hmm.
And I'm incredibly humbled to be a part of this class. There's a lot of dudes, a lot of great people, and it's kind of cool how I kind of just started the ball rolling a little bit. Like I get it. Like I'm a 3-star, sure, whatever. But like, it's kind of cool that after I committed, I just was like, you know what, I'm going to recruit my teammates. So I think it's been super cool.
Awesome. Very cool. Yeah. I mean, it's cool. I feel like we've seen, especially with Oregon, like developing players and then proving that stars don't matter. Like once you get on that field, all the rankings go away and it's anybody's job.
Mm-hmm.
We've been talking about the staff. Have you been able to stay in touch with them recently? Like what are your guys' conversations like when you talk to them these days, seeing that you are already committed?
We stay in contact very much. I get a text from one coach every day, just like, hey, have a great day, or something like that, or like, hey, how's the family, or something like that. And it kind of branches out because it's kind of cool. Like I'll get one from either the O-line coach or Mario himself or defensive line or defensive backs. It's kind of cool how not only is your position coach not even recruiting you, but the whole staff is recruiting you because it's a big family feel. But the texts are just kind of saying just like, hey, how are you doing? Or hey, dude, we want this dude. Like, if you could talk to him, that's great. Just kind of either recruiting stuff or But I think the biggest thing it's mostly about is just how my family is. Like, Oregon doesn't just recruit recruits; they recruit your family. They talk to your family. They're really embedded in that kind of family feel, which is cool.
That's awesome. Yeah, I've heard about that a lot. I'm sorry, man. You might be able to hear. Can you give me just 1 second? One of my buddies is blasting music,
Oh yeah, you're
and
totally fine. You're bad.
that's kind of messing with me. Sorry, I'll be right back.
Oh, you're good.
Thank you, man. All right, we back. Sorry about that. Thanks, man.
Oh, you're totally fine.
All right. Yeah, so we've talked about the family feel. I've definitely heard that. I've talked to numerous Oregon recruits, and that's like what it comes down to a lot of the time. Who would you say you're closest with on the staff, and like what do you like about him?
Ooh, it's a hard question. Probably Coach Mariball, just because I talked to him the most, and he's awesome. He's an awesome dude, and he's the one who offered me, which is cool too. I don't know. Me and his relationship are awesome, and I'm just so happy that I get to have him as a coach coming up. Like, I'm so excited. But I talk to all the coaches. I have great relationships with all the coaches. So yeah. But I'd have to say Coach Mariball for sure. He's just an awesome dude. So
Right on. That's super cool to hear because I think, especially when it comes to offensive line recruiting, with Cristobal being the 2015 Recruiter of the Year, and getting big guys like Penei Sewell, and yourself, Stephen Jones. The list goes on. I think a lot of people probably think, oh, they got this guy, it's all Cristobal, but Mirabal is clearly pulling his weight, and just because he's a shorter dude, he clearly knows what he's doing with the way that Oregon's offensive line's been playing lately.
yeah.
And you've talked about it looks like Oregon's probably only going to be your only official, at least at this point. Just kind of piggybacking off of that, do you have any plans to graduate or enroll early, especially with schools kind of being up in the air?
So yeah, I'll be graduating and being in the early class. That's my plan for that. So I'll graduate early. Like, this has been great. This has kind of been cool because like other kids have been like, oh, school's easy right now. We just got this class, but I've been doing like classes just for kind of senior year, just to get it out of the way so I can graduate early. So I'll be graduating early.
Awesome. That's super cool. I think it's been a cool change that we've seen recently with kind of how college football has, developed, getting guys on campus early and getting in the program. Just a couple more for you here, Jackson. Don't want to take too much of your time.
No, you're totally fine. I can talk about things forever.
Awesome. I could do the same myself. Kind of just taking a look at the image of Oregon football now. We've seen the Ducks kind of labeled as soft in the past. And then I think they're kind of working to change that narrative with, beefing up the trenches and especially even the play of their defense last year. What do you think about that? Do you think that they're starting to change that narrative?
Oh, for sure. They're really focusing on the trenches, which is this is a big key of football because without them, then it's patty cake football. Like, I really think that Coach Cristobal and Coach Maribal and Coach Salve are really just working to like just be physical. Like, Oregon's gonna be a physical team, and they're continuing to just elevate not even just regular trench play, but just football play in general. Like, I really think I think there's going to be a physical team in general. Like, there has been like sure there's been labeled of patty cake in the past, but Coach Chris Ball in Oregon right now is going to be the offensive line you for sure, and just really working on being physical, like hard nosed team.
Definitely, definitely. Yeah, hearing you say stuff like that makes me anxious to get you on campus and see you put on the green and yellow.
Yeah.
Um, let's see what I have here. What saying what you just did, what are your expectations for the Ducks next season whenever we end up having it?
Oh, I saying pick up where we left up because going off Pac-12 Rose Bowl champions, we're just gonna keep the ball rolling because it's just the beginning of things. Like this is year 2 or 3 for Cristobal, I believe.
I want to say
But
it's his third Red Box
third
Bowl,
year.
and then yeah,
So this will be but I think we're just getting started. We're just getting started. And I really hope that we get to play Ohio State because it's a great test to always have that first big game. But if not, I'll always have high expectations wherever I go in general. Just I have high expectations for my high school team this year, and I think we're gonna just be just fine. I think we'll be good.
okay, great. Yeah, I'm hoping that Ohio State game happens too. Maybe get some revenge from the national championship game. Like you're saying, it's a great test. See where Tyler Shook and the offense are at. So there's so many great things that can come out of that game.
Mm-hmm.
Um, wrapping it up here, what do you think is your favorite thing about football or being a football player?
The biggest thing with football with me is I think just hitting somebody and being not getting in trouble. Like I like just being nasty and just I like hitting people. That's what got me into football because I used to play baseball and I would always try and run over the catcher when I was coming home. I don't know. I just love hitting. I love hitting. I love pancaking people. So just hitting in general, because like you have like different things. Like people have different releases to like when you're angry, and football is just mine because like it's just like a spring loading into that season where I can just hit people. So
Hmm. Okay, yeah, wow. I've heard that answer before, but I like the little anecdote about trying to run over the catcher. I think it shows how physical you are.
yeah,
Well, awesome. Well, Jackson, that's all I had for you. Really want to thank you for taking the time to talk to me, and anyone else who will end up watching this. I'm sure they appreciate getting a look into your life and your recruitment.
oh for sure. I love the Duck fans. Really appreciate how they support me and support recruits and all that. It's what makes Oregon Oregon.
Absolutely, man, for sure. Well, I'm sure we'll be staying in touch, and
For sure.
go Ducks. Have a good rest of your day.
Have a great day.
I'll see you, man.